past a certain number, saving more cash quietly starts working against your family. Most parents never find that number, so they just keep piling it up and calling it safe. The number is your monthly essentials times 12. Cross it and 5 things change. I found mine running a company through a revolution with 35 families on my payroll. You kept chasing a bigger emergency fund because no one ever gave you the finish line. This is the finish line. Kind of like the finish line on a track. Without one, you just keep running. Below the line, every dollar guards you. Above it, every dollar grows for you. None of this needs more income. It needs one number. 5 changes, the first one shows up fast. Change 1, a surprise bill stops sending you back to zero. Most families keep about $1,000 in emergency savings, if that. One real bill empties it. A car repair, a vet visit, cracked tooth, whatever it is. So you refill it, and a few weeks later, the next bill wipes it out again. Sounds familiar? That's not a safety net. That's a revolving door. Kind of like bailing a boat with a cup while the water keeps coming in. A recent survey found more than half of families cannot cover a $1,000 surprise bill from savings. So the bill goes on a card at 20-something% or more, and the hole gets deeper. 12 months of essentials changes the math completely. One bill becomes a Tuesday, not a crisis. It costs nothing to find this number. It changes everything to cross it. Here's the move. Do not aim for $1,000. Aim for 1 month of essentials first. Then 2, stack them like bricks. Quick one. And I read every comment. Drop your family's monthly essentials number below. Just the one number. Change 2, and this is the big one. Your next dollar changes jobs. Below the finish line, every dollar has one job. Protect the family. Above the finish line, the same dollar gets a new job. Build the family. This is the line between a safety net and a growth engine. Under the line, you are filling a tank. Over the line, you start the engine. Most parents never feel this switch because they never set the line. So the savings never ends and the building never starts. Here's the part most people miss. The account does not have to change. The job does. A dollar guarding you earns almost nothing. A dollar building for you can earn for decades. Picture it on a real paycheck. Once your war chest is full, the next $200 a month stops sitting in your savings. It starts buying index funds, boring ones, the whole market, not the one stock an influencer is pushing. $200 a month left alone for 20 years can grow into 6 figures, believe me. Same money, a completely different future. The finish line is where defense becomes offense. That is the day your money starts working as hard as you do. If saving and investing just clicked into one picture for the first time, subscribing tells YouTube to show you the next family video as well. That is the only reason I mention it. The war chest. Now, here's where people push back. You're thinking, 12 months is too much. Nobody needs that. I thought so too, until the ground moved. Years ago, I ran a company through a revolution with tanks on the street, no police, business frozen overnight, and so on. 35 families were on my payroll. At home, I had a newborn daughter. Everyone around me was just firing people to survive. I did not have to. I had a buffer built before the crisis. I called it the war chest. For weeks, nothing normal worked. Not the plans, not the pipeline, not the payroll mass, nothing. We cut costs, not people. Everyone shared a little pain and nobody lost a job. When it settled, we scaled back up, stronger. The buffer is the only reason that story ended well. A war chest is not really an emergency fund. An emergency fund reacts after the fire starts. A war chest hands you options before it does. So 12 months is not fear. 12 months is choices. Change 3. You stop chasing the interest rate. Saving rates slipped this year. From about 4.5% down to 4, depending where you live, and they keep drifting lower now. Below the finish line, that stinks. So people hop from bank to bank for a better rate. Above the finish line, it stops mattering because a big pile of cash has a quiet leak: inflation. $50,000 parked in savings can lose more to rising prices than it earns in interest. So the cash feels safe while it slowly shrinks. Kind of like a bucket with a slow crack. You keep pouring and the level never rises. The rate was never the enemy. A pile that never gets invested is. Every month of cash above the line is a month that money could have been growing. The move: fill the war chest, then send the rest to the growth engine. Stop guarding the rate. Start owning the market. Change 4. The fear turns off. You know the feeling at the checkout, watching the total climb, doing quietly the math in your head. That feeling does not come from your income. It comes from having no floor under you. Money stress is rarely about how you earn. It's about too many open decisions. The war chest is the floor. It closes the biggest decision of all. Am I safe? Yes. With 12 months behind you, a rough month is a bump, not a threat. You stop reacting to money. You start deciding with it. A hard conversation with a boss gets easier when quitting is survivable for a year. That calm is the real product here, not the number itself. The nights you sleep because of it. If your shoulders dropped a little just now, a like helps others find this too. That is the whole reason I ask. Change 5, and this one lasts the longest. Your kid's clock starts. Once the family is safe and the engine is running, you can finally plan the long game for them. My daughter, Noor, once looked at her savings and said, "Papa, what do I do with this? It's just sitting there." That question only shows up after the fear is gone. So we started small, a little into 2 boring index funds, money with decades to grow. She practiced first with pretend money on a free app, so a red day did not scare her anymore. She learned one rule that most adults never do. Do not panic, and for sure do not sell. $7,000 invested once for a young child can grow past 100,000 by the time they are grown. Time does really the work, and not luck. This is not about making them rich. It's about starting the clock early. You cannot start that clock while you are still bailing the boat. You start it the day you cross the finish line. So 5 things change the day your family crosses the finish line. A bill stops resetting you. Your dollar starts building. The rate stops ruling you. The fear turns off, and your kid's clock starts. Here's tonight. Add up your essentials for 1 month. Rent, food, power, transport, insurance. You know them. Multiply by 12, write that one number on the fridge. That's your finish line. One number, 10 minutes. That is the whole job tonight. You are not behind. You were just never given the number. If you want the calm system this comes from, it's called The First Brick, and it's a free guide linked below in the description. And if 3 months of savings still sounds like plenty, watch this one next. It's why a 3 months emergency fund can quietly hurt your family and what to build instead. I'm Morgan. I will see you there.